Coming Down is proudly sponsored by Colorado Ganja Gear, high-quality, artistically inspired herb grinders. So let me tell you, these things are great. I actually own one. My favorite part is the perfect consistency you get after grinding. Some grinders just pulverize your herb into dust, but the razor-sharp teeth and smooth action on these always leave you with perfect, fluffy, evenly ground herb. The craftsmanship is top-notch, made from aircraft-grade aluminum, to guarantee you won't get metal shavings mixed into your herb. But the best part, truly, is each grinder features original artwork created by Colorado artist Lori Beatty. She creates unique mandalas that are laser-etched into each magnetic lid. And each grinder comes in a silk bag and has free shipping. So just go to etsy.com/shop/Colorado Ganja Gear and enter the code Coming Down in all caps for $5 off, or go to the show notes for this episode and follow the link. Thanks and enjoy the episode.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coming Down. My name is Matthew, joined here by my co-host Nathan.
Hello friends. So, we are coming to you from a time out of place.
That's right. We are time travelers. We don't know what bizarre future you are living in. It could be a twisted hellscape.
It's true. Let's hope not.
It could also be a strange utopia brought on by hope and love and a shining future. I don't know.
It'll probably be something along those lines.
It's probably going to be a tragic comedy filled with farts and Cheeto-colored people, but you know.
For sure. Yeah, so by the time this is going out, I will have returned from Desert Days, ideally.
Oh, you're just gonna be like, you're gonna have that 1,000-yard, like, sun-baked, acid-washed, fucking, like, fresh new perspective on you.
I should, and so we'll get to that eventually, but we had to pre-record because I won't actually be in town for the week that this comes out.
Oh, right. Yeah, so you guys are just getting, like, back in time, Nate. Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah,
this is the last incarnation of you before, like, the Desert Days peels back the layers of the onion, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. This is Nate before he's seen Devo live,
right?
And before he's seen The Locust live,
yes.
And before he's seen Ween for the 10th time, and Flaming Lips for the 10th time, or whatever.
This is Nathan before he found Matthew clinging to the underside of his car,
right?
Deeply concussed.
Correct. So we don't know what's going on in the world or in our lives now.
No, we're just speculating wildly.
Yeah, totally. In fact, we're going to announce that we have a guest this week that we haven't even recorded with.
Guess what? We hope his episode's good because we're totally doing the intro for it before we've even heard it.
Yep.
Rolling the dice.
Yep. So we'll it'll be fine.
It's cool, man. His last one was gold. So.
Yeah, it was for sure. Yeah, go back and listen to the episode. Gosh, I don't remember the number, but it was called
Peanut Butter Peddler.
Peanut Butter Peddler, and yeah, it's your boy Josh.
Yep.
And God, that episode was fantastic.
Holy shit, I had no idea. This guy's had a life. He's been through some shit, man.
Seriously. So yeah, we're getting part 2. So getting the return guests like going here.
I'm saying
it's really nice.
Hell, he might even have more than one story. So like
cool.
This could be part 1 of a thing. It could be just, like one of a couple of volumes that we're going to record. I mean, it's
unclear.
Remains to be seen.
Because I can't see in the future. So
wait. You lied to me. God damn it.
It's true.
I thought you were a precog.
Yeah, I mean, I do take weird milk baths every night.
Well, and you pooped a ball in my hand and told me that it predicted my future, so I'm a little disappointed, I gotta say.
That wasn't poop.
Well, I know it wasn't poop. It was a ball that you hid in your butt, and then you put it in my hand. And I believed you.
Yep. That's what you get.
Strange men lying in ponds is no way to find a system for government.
It's true.
Or divine your future.
So, yeah, we don't know what's going on. Clearly.
We've never known what's going on, just to clear that up.
It's true.
But we know even less now.
But now we're predicting what we won't know is going on.
Yeah, so, I like how we're predicting the things that we won't know. This is wonderful.
Yeah, totally.
We should do this every episode.
Yeah, just fucking project into the future.
Yeah, no one will listen to us ever again. We could just like do a podcast just for ourselves.
Just get like weird and semantic every single time. Just like how those conversations always devolve. Like, well, what even is reality? I can't say. Am I even looking at you? Are you even here?
I feel like we've done that in at least one of the like horribly drunken fucking ones that we haven't released.
Yeah,
like we've just devolved in being like, well, it just doesn't fucking matter, man. Like, just do what you want.
No, I got so sick of those conversations. Like back in the day, it's like such a stoner moment of just like, well, but if it's not even it's like, come on, dude, let's just agree on a reality for now,
right?
So we can have a conversation.
Right.
I like getting semantic and existential and esoteric with things from time to time.
But it's the contrarians who are like, we don't know what's real. You don't know if I'm fucking not made of ice. It's like, right. Shut up, dude. Like, if you're gonna fucking talk to me like that, then at least pack a bowl so I can fucking ignore you. Like, Jesus.
Seriously.
Ugh.
So,
anyway,
given that we know nothing and might not even exist.
Yep. Welcome to Time Traveler Cast.
Yep. Yeah, let's just, because we don't know what we should be talking about anyway, so I'd say we just turn it loose.
Yeah, let's straight to housekeeping.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So, yeah, here we are. If you would like to see show notes for this episode, or just find other stuff about this pod, it's comingdownpod.com. Everything you could possibly want is on there, and more.
Yep.
And if you'd like to support us in this endeavor, there's links to our Patreon there. You can also find it at patreon.com/comingdownpod. Thank you so much to everyone who's helping us keep the lights on. We love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
And if you'd like to contact us, that is comingdownpod on Twitter or comingdownpod@gmail.com. Please let us know if you'd like to be on the show, or just let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Or if you'd like to give us a rate and review, hit us up on Stitcher.
Yeah, that's
it.
That's all they need to know. Dude. That's all they need to know for now. And then we'll return once I've come back to this planet.
That's right. In so doing, I think you should take us there, buddy.
All right, let's go.
I remember, so my dad used to own a couple of fabric stores, and I remember in Eugene and Bend, and we would get burners in there, but that was like, I want to talk about like early 2000s,
okay.
Like way back, because I know it started in 86 on Baker Beach, and then 90 it moved to the Black Rock Desert, and I think 97 it was at the Fly Ranch, and then it moved back. There was one year it was not on the Playa, and then it moved back out there, and that's where it's been ever since.
My first year was 98, and then I went in 99.
Wow. So yeah, totally different animal than it is now. And then when I went, it was even different than, because it's just grown so much.
Yeah.
So,
what years did you go?
It's become a lot more corporate.
I mean, despite their best efforts, 2011 and 2014.
Okay, yeah.
And so 2011 was the first year that it sold out.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because we knew
People
some burners out here.
out.
Yeah, totally.
So 2000, and I went with a girlfriend at the time. 2010, she had gone. 2011, because it used to be people would buy their tickets right before you went.
Oh yeah.
Or you'd get them at the gate.
You could just roll in and
get your tickets.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we bought ours online because that's how you did it in 2011. Well, you still do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like July. So now it's like February, March, and you got to have like your information in, and you got to put in ahead of time that you're going to apply for tickets.
Yeah, because don't they do like a lottery thing now?
No,
sort of?
they only did a lottery in 2012, and it was a complete shit show.
Yeah, okay.
Just an absolute shit show. So a lot of camps did, like theme camps and veteran camps that have been around for a long time, didn't get in.
Yeah.
Or had a very hard time getting tickets.
Yeah, damn.
So because we got our tickets, and then like 2 weeks later that they announced on their website, sold out. And so then everybody loses their shit, and they're like, people started selling them, scalping them, which is kind of against their whole ethos. And it was like, we could have sold them for like $2,000 a piece, like in a minute.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because we paid, I want to say, $290, I think, $290 or $310, something like that.
Wow.
And but we could have instantly sold them for a couple thousand a piece. People could, because there's a lot of rich people that go, and it's like, well, if you want to go, who gives a shit? Give me the ticket. You know, I don't care what it costs.
Yeah, right, totally.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I think I might have canceled my trip for $2,000 a ticket. You know, just been like, you know what?
I've never been, and I'd heard some
Yeah,
good things about it.
You know, like, for sure. You know.
I was just like, no, I want to.
Yeah.
I want to experience this. But so then, 2012 is a lottery. Now what it is you create a burner profile, and then you put in that you're going to apply for tickets or purchase tickets, and you get a number, and then you go on the website the day of the sale and you put your number in, and then it's like at 12 o'clock the queue opens, and it's like you have to be like literally when I went in 2014, it was like watching, like I had 3 browser pages open.
Yeah.
I had it on my phone. You know, I got every device I could have, and it was like click, 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 click. You know,
Yeah,
as
just
quick
refresh.
and then
Yeah.
it's like you just wait. You know, and they sold 30,000 tickets. They said in 45 minutes, but that's how long it took for the website to process everyone.
Right.
If you didn't get in the queue in the first 45 seconds. You were too far back in the queue to get tickets.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
That's like $15 million worth of tickets in 45 seconds.
Oh my god.
It's a 30,000 cap? That's what they do?
No. It's 70,000 now.
Holy shit.
70,000 because it's on BLM land.
Right.
Right.
And they have population limits, and it's leave no trace, and so
Right.
you're not leave no trace, but people still like. I've dug up like bottle caps and stuff. It's not perfect, you know.
Right.
But,
No, of course.
But they have people there for like a month afterwards, like
Right.
digging through the dirt and trying
Sifting
to
the playa.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're supposed to like not, you either evaporate or carry out your gray water, your black
Right.
water, any of that. The only thing that can go on the playa is clean water. Like
Right.
if you have a fire, you've got to have like something under it so you don't leave a burn scar on the playa, and
Whoa.
there's no garbage cans. You got to take all your trash out. There's just porta johns, which by day 4 or 5 are just you ever seen Train Spotting?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bathroom?
The worst toilet in
You think of
Scotland.
a portable
Yeah.
bathroom like
Oh,
that.
man.
Absolutely just rancid. Because you've got, in 2011 there was a cap of 50,000.
Okay.
And I think it was a cap of 70 in 2014, and they've kind of had to hold it there. But I think they actually went over a little bit in 2014 at one point, because they've got it's not just ticket holders, it's also, well, I guess everybody is technically a ticket holder, but it's also the staff and volunteers and people operating it.
Now, isn't it true if you parachute in, you can get in for free?
No, you have to have a ticket.
Really?
Yes. Now, people parachute in and run and hide. You know? I mean, and there's people that sneak in vehicles, but they'll throw you out.
Yeah.
And actually can get arrested because they fence off the perimeter, and it's kind of funny because it's like this crescent circle.
Right.
And then the perimeter is like a pentagon shape, like 5-sided, pentagon. So it's almost like this pentagram, sort of weird-ish, sort of kind of a cross between a pentagram and like Base Nectar's logo that he's got.
Right.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
When you look at it from the air. But no, skydiving. And so I volunteered at the airport in 2014, and
cool.
You as a ride wrangler, because you can volunteer for anything. They want people to volunteer. They, participate, not just spectate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as a ride wrangler, my job was to be a liaison between people that wanted to go fly over the city, just Black Rock citizens. They'd come to the airport, I want to go fly, and there's pilots that go there because it's the second largest airport in Nevada during the burn.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
so like only to McCarran, which is in Vegas.
Wow.
So, and you've got helicopters going in there, you've got jets going in there, you've got prop planes, you've got paragliders, you've got...
Oh, you can land in the perimeter?
Oh yeah.
There's an airport.
Oh.
Like, if you look at it from the sky, you got the city, and like... center camp and the man and the temple is at 12 o'clock. Well, not 12 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, technically. There's nothing at 12 o'clock or 1 or 11. And then the city starts at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And like the the street names are Esplanade on the inner circle, and then A B C D E F G. But it's like it's themed for the year. So like in 2014, it was Caravansary. So it was like, shit, I don't remember. It was like, what was I staying? Hodge. So I was like at 615 in Hodge. Huh. So H was Hodge, you know, and so they just give them names alphabetically,
right,
in relation to what the theme is.
Wild. I mean, that's cool.
It is cool.
It's cool that they build a whole city, like, for a week. I don't know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm so torn on whether I actually ever want to go to Burning Man.
If you can go for free, you should do it.
Yeah, probably. I feel like I'd missed the heyday, so I'm a little just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cool anymore, but...
They always say, what do they say? It was better last year, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I say if you can go, like, even if you have to pay for it, I think you should experience it at least once.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, okay, it's 70,000 people, so it's a fucking city, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yes. And it's spread way the hell out, and it's not like you're driving. I mean, when you drive in, you drive on the playa to your camp, and you park your car.
Yeah.
And the only vehicles that can drive there are mutant vehicles and art cars, unless you're disabled and have a permit. Then they let those people drive around, but you're doing 5 miles an hour. You don't see many cars. It's mutant vehicles. What are those... the two-wheeled things that people stand on.
Rickshaw.
No.
The Segways?
Segways.
Oh,
yeah, so you'll see Segways buzzing around and stuff, and like little electric scooters
little
and
scooters.
stuff. Yeah, almost like the
little birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
But just not them. But mainly it's bicycles and walking. It's because they've got yellow bikes there, which are there's a group that brings, I've heard they're associated with Google, I'm not totally sure, but they bring thousands of these yellow bikes. They're actually painted green, but they're called yellow bikes, and it's just community bikes. If you're on it, it's your bike. If you get off, somebody else can grab it, and you can't be territorial, you can't take it into your camp. You got to leave it out front. If it gets damaged or broken, you're supposed to try to fix it. You know, like if it gets a flat tire, it's like, well, you're fucking riding it, fix it. You know? It's
right.
It's not somebody else's job, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I'd ride one of those around, and because I was super self-reliant, which one of their tenets is radical self-reliance.
Right.
So I'd always bring, like, chain lube and, like, some tools and just weird just stuff you think you're going to need for the week.
Hell yeah,
and so you lube the chain and, you know, air up the tires and stuff.
It's cool.
But you get distracted, and there's...
I do like the philosophy. I think the self-reliance thing is cool. My buddy, he always described it as like partying on the moon. Just like, it's just like the harshest conditions. It's like it's survivalist, like, party rave, you know? Like, it's half partying, but it's half just like, pushing your limits and seeing how much you can sort of live in a place that's pretty hostile. So
it's like a talcum powder, that playa dust.
Well, that stuff's gnarly.
It gets in everything. The first day or so it's not bad. Yes, it is. You gotta, like, it's good to take like lemon juice for your feet and stuff so you don't get cracked out. But first day or so it's not bad because it's still like that cracked surface, you know. But after a few days of people walking on it, driving on it, it's just like baby powder. And you try to keep it off yourself, but you just surrender. Like,
Did it rain at all while you were there?
The second time, so 2014 it rained, and it is actually, that year was the first year that they let people in Sunday at noon. Normally it opens on Monday at midnight, but Sunday at noon they said, okay, we're going to let everybody in a little early if they want to get in, just to kind of ease the slam at the beginning.
Right.
So we were like, fuck it, we want to be here at noon Sunday. Like, if you get there early, they put you in a lot aside. Like, you don't get to get in early. It's like a penalty, you know, penalty box kind of. But we got there, like, timed it just right. Got in there right at noon, got our camp set up, and we got our camp set up and got out on the playa, and it just started dumping rain, like, it was early Monday morning. It just, like, torrential downpour.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that stuff's, like, turns into, like, concrete, like mud, like, and it just sticks to everything. Like, they say don't walk on it, don't drive, because you just make holes in it.
Yeah. Well, and you'll have platform shoes.
Yeah, in like no time.
10 feet.
Yeah, like literally. Like, because it sticks to itself, and it just, every layer just piles up. So they closed the gate for, like, I think 12, 14 hours, something like that. Maybe even longer, because they didn't want people, because it's a lake bed,
right?
And so it floods,
right?
Yeah,
in the low spots, which where the entrance is a low spot, and so that floods, and they don't want people driving on it because you will get stuck.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
So the line was like 27 hours long to get in.
Fuck.
Like sitting in line, and people are not prepared for that, because it's like, okay, we're gonna get in, we're gonna get set up. Your fucking water is packed away somewhere.
Sure.
Your toiletries are packed, like, buried, because your shit is like, you know, you got to survive for a week.
Well, and like gas, you know, like,
yes,
you know,
Bruno's at Gerlach is the last place, but you think there's nobody in line there? No, the line pretty much goes through the gas station onto the playa.
Right.
People have generators for their RVs. Well, let's top everything off. That way, when you're getting out of there, you're full of gas and you can leave. You know.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And I heard that the line went all the way back to like Fernley, or you know, like, I mean, 27 hours. It's hundreds of miles, or at least 100 miles. You know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You could have seen that line from space.
Well, we were on this.
Right.
Probably. We were on this
Great Wall of Hippies.
Yeah. we were on this thing called the Alien Siege Machine, which was like kind of like, if I had to describe it, I'd say it's a Trojan horse, but looked like an alien instead, and it was on tank treads.
Nice.
Cool.
And we were up on top of it, and it was, so Monday evening at 9 o'clock, they saw fireworks around the whole perimeter, which is a trip.
Yeah.
Well, we just happened to be up there for that, and we were looking out towards the entrance, and you could just see the line, just a snake of headlights going all the way over the horizon. It was like, fuck, all those people still waiting to get in.
Oh, so you had already got in that year.
Yeah.
Because you went early.
Yes. So we didn't get fucked that way. But it was nuts.
That's insane.
Oh, God. Yeah, were tensions pretty high once everyone sort of like got in there? And
I think, no, not really, because once you're in, you're like, woo, you know, we're here.
Yeah.
And it's such a sensory overload. I mean, I don't know what it was like in 98, 99, because,
So those were the last 2 years before they let the feds in. It was just Black
so that
Rock
had to
City.
be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were still drunk guys in full plate on four-wheelers with flamethrowers, you know, like...
Yeah. Dude,
I was not discouraged at that time.
I've been reading about this... like Mad Max festival that they've started throwing in the last couple of years. That's specifically like
you have to be in uniform, or outfitted. Yeah, what is that called? I read about that.
Oh man,
because there's a camp at Burning Man called Death Guild.
Yes, totally. and they build like a Thunderdome and shit, right?
Yes. So 2011, I went to the Thunderdome. And you can fight in the Thunderdome if you want.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, and you climb on the fucker, and it's got the sign up top that spins.
Wow.
And they're all geared, like, it's like you're in Mad Max. Like, legit. These people do it so good. Even the vehicles.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they have, like, just foam weapons, or, like...
Yeah, so they give the people foam pugil sticks, because... obviously, they don't want you to die, right? But you're hooked up to the bungees, and they like pull you back, and they spring you towards each. And people get hurt.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, you know. But it's like, look, moron, you consented to this, and then it's like you're not just fighting like you could be fighting anyone, like whoever. It's like, well, you two, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't force you to, but you got to volunteer for it. But you might be fighting a dude who's high as fuck, you know, like, and
you are almost certainly fighting
exactly
high as fuck.
Yes, almost certainly. Yeah. So, and it was cool because, and you know, they got the flamethrowers, the what are they called, poofers and stuff.
Wicked.
Yes, and so they have an act too. It's not just, oh hey, we're here, and if you guys want to fight. No, they have like a whole show they do.
That's awesome.
And so they took, and goddamn, and these people are good. Like, they're dedicated to it, and they took this chick who's, you know, got the tall leather boots and all, like, goth, just hotness. And they, like, she was in a straitjacket and she had a bag over her head. And they threw her ass out in the middle of this Thunderdome. And they got the heavy metal going, you know, death metal, I guess, and lights and flames and shit. And she's, like, writhing around. I mean, it's part of a show, you know, but she's writhing around. And she gets the bag off her head and she gets out of the straitjacket and she's got this, like, metal, like, Valkyrie type breastplate thing on, right? Cool. and she grabs a cigarette and puts it in her mouth, walks over, and there's an angle grinder sitting on the ground, and she grabs it and puts it up against her breastplate, and it's like, and it's like throwing sparks, and she like dips the cigarette into the sparks, and fucking lights the cigarette, and the sparks is like, yes!
God. That is badass.
It was so fucking badass.
Wasteland Weekend.
Wasteland
is what
Weekend,
it's called.
yes.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
Like, yeah, we're gonna lose some teeth at this one.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe an eye.
Yeah.
That's why you spray paint and chrome first.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
God, yeah. So that, and then there's furry camps.
Yeah.
So, and I saw, it was funny because they had a couple furries fighting in the Thunderdome.
Yes.
Yes. So they're all strapped in and fighting, trying not to lose their heads and stuff. And the guy's like, he's like, a couple of fucking high school mascots in here fighting. He's like, I can't tell if they're fucking or if they're fighting. And it's just like, oh my God. Yeah. So that was good. Yeah. There's like a stilt bar. Like, so I don't know. A lot of this stuff's probably come along, I don't know, in the past 15, 20 years, but like at the stilt bar. Well, you got to be on those tall-ass stilts in order to be served at this bar. Because it's like 15, 20 feet in the air. So if you're just a regular, pleb, you're not getting served.
Well, there's
you're
a
not
lot
on
of stilt
stilts.
walkers, so they probably get a decent amount of business.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome.
There was, I saw this couple. Do you guys remember the fucking... the Striders from The Dark Crystal, like those big fucking stilt walking things?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing that, except like more insectile.
Huh.
And yeah, like fucking, stilts on their arms too, and like they're doing
kind of like
like
Marilyn Manson with his whole thing. He
yeah,
did.
they're like doing gymnastics and stuff. I'm just like, that's insane. I love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to keep just jumping around with stuff, or do you want to like tell the full 2011 or the full 2014?
Well, I don't know. So they're both such different experiences. Like 2011, I went with a girlfriend, and I'd like just gone through a divorce. And
shit, you were married?
I've been married twice.
No shit.
You want that story?
No, we'll skip that one.
Only get married for land or title. Is what I say. Like seriously, otherwise, fuck that. Like medieval. Like, that's the only reason to get married. Otherwise, just be committed to each other. That's fine. And 2011 was interesting. I had a good time, but it was like, I don't know. It's like I used to be way more square than I am now. Like I was more like.
Well, Burning Man might knock a little of that out of you.
Yeah, it does. But if you're gonna resist it, you can still show up there and be an ass and like. I'm not happy and whatever. Like
right.
And then 2014, I went with my second wife. And it was like the roles in reverse because it was like, holy shit, I'm like volunteering for all this stuff. And I'm kind of a outgoing person. I like to meet people, and so it was great because I volunteered at these art installations. I volunteered at the temple, which was the Temple of Grace in 2014. And David Best is the artist, and he made the first temple. And they have this temple. It's not a religious thing necessarily. Right. It's just like a sacred space, and some people go there for their religious practices. Some people go there a lot of it's like remembrance of lost friends or lost family members, and you'll see like ashes there. You'll see little altars. People write messages, leave pictures, mementos. And so David Best, he's done more temples, I think, than anyone. He did his last one in 2016, but he's like Papa Smurf, like not fat, but like he's this probably like 5'4" guy, old, like red-faced from being in the sun, and white hair, just this short old dude. And just this incredible artist, and he lives in San Francisco, but he finally retired from it. I think he's got an art gallery, I think in San Francisco, but he's done just these insane temples. And a lot of it is like that, like die-cut wood stuff, right. The weird, shapes and stuff, and the way he just puts it all together, it's just insane. And so I was a temple guardian in 2014.
Do you know why they started doing the temples?
No, I don't.
So the last year that I went was the last year that they just burned a man. Okay. And they started doing temples the next year, I believe. Okay. In 2000.
In 2000, okay.
And it's because they built the tallest man ever in 99. It was 90 feet tall. And they had some misfires with the fireworks. And in fact, everything in the chest all went off simultaneously.
Oh.
And like there's just a massive explosion in his chest, and like it was, I think, before the arms went up, or maybe like only one arm had gone up.
Bummer.
And so like I don't remember exactly what happened with the arms, but like it caught fire in a weird way. Like it's supposed to burn in a certain pattern, you know.
The fireworks just eventually light it on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like it started burning from the middle out instead of like from the ground up, and that fucked with the timing of certain things.
Yeah.
And at one point, they also didn't have any barriers. Like there was just a big circle of people around the man, and like people are playing music and like doing light shows and shit, you know, and like some fucking tripper goes booking it out onto the fucking playa, like right in front of the man, and like you can see this on YouTube. There is video of this. And like he's just staring up at the man burning, like right at his feet, and you see a firefighter come like sprinting out of like stage right and just fucking tackle this dude right as the arm falls, right where he was standing.
Oh shit!
It's like it's spine tingling. Like it's such a close fucking call.
Damn.
And you know, after that, they were like, "Fuck that! We gotta have like stuff that's in the way so that nobody can be underneath this thing when it's burning."
Right.
And so they started putting the man on top of a temple.
Didn't some dude like leap into the burning man?
2018.
2018?
Yeah, he jumped in and self-immolated.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that's happened.
Gnarly.
So the man, I don't know what it was like in 2000, 2001, around that time frame, but the man is separate from the temple.
Oh, okay.
So the man... So in 2014, they made the biggest man ever, which is like, I think it was 150 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Either 100 or 150. Fucking huge, and took years to burn. Because, I mean, it was gigantic.
That's insane.
2011, he was taking a step, and it was like, oh, it was the first time the man's taking a step. There was Rites of Passage was the theme that year. And so he was up on top of this, like, these two, like, pyramid sort of things. And people would write messages on that stuff too, but the Temple of Transition in 2011 was the most fucking amazing thing I've ever seen. So you've got Center Camp, then the man, which is like the middle of the clock, and then the temple, which is beyond the man, like equidistance from Center Camp.
Maybe they just put him on top of the temple in 2000 or something.
Possible,
like that.
yeah. I mean... he's usually on top of some sort of massive installation.
So they don't burn the temple?
Yes, they do.
Oh, they burn the temple too?
Burn the temple,
yes.
Yeah.
At least lately, Friday nights they do like the regional burns. So because they got regional burns now.
Oh, wow.
So like there's Africa burn. There's I think there's an Australian burn. There's but then there's regional ones like in the Northeast U.S. and, you know, like, I think, where else? Texas. But they've got these smaller ones. And so those regional groups have art installations that they burn on Friday night. Saturday night, Labor Day weekend, Saturday night they burn the man. Sunday night they burn the temple.
Oh, okay.
And then Monday, get the fuck out.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah. So that's how that works.
Okay.
That's cool. It's cool that it's kind of just like a build up to just like,
right.
All right, like we're out here for a week, but you know, we're all culminating to like this one kind of, or like these couple big impactful moments. I think that's cool.
Well, it gives you like 2 big nights to fucking watch shit burn and party.
Yeah,
instead
for
of
real.
Just like one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see, I don't know how they do it now because I haven't been in the last couple of years, but for like when I was there both times, it's like they didn't have like there wasn't a fence around the man, but it's like on the very inner perimeter you got like dudes in the silver suits, like the fire suits.
Yeah.
Like you could walk in the fire with those things. And then outside of that they got firefighters in like their Kevlar, and then outside of that they got more people like watching, and those people, they don't watch the man burn, they're watching the crowd. And then there's more people, and then there's, you know, the kind of the people in front are all sitting down, and they have you sitting down because then you're a barrier to the people that are standing behind that might try to run in because they can't, you know, weasel away between people.
Right.
But yeah, so Temple Guardian, and I met David Best. I just happened to be walking.
Oh, right, yeah, because you were volunteering for that temple.
That's the weird thing about Burning Man is it's like weird, you know, you meet people you'd never expect to meet, and people with interesting stories and
oh gosh, right? I mean, that seems like the best part.
Yeah.
Just like talk to a bunch of randos
Yeah,
from
you
all over
never
the
know.
world.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
on God knows what, doing
Yeah.
God knows what.
Well,
Right.
and you know, I mean, you get all these different walks of life because there's like, there are like these rich businessmen who go out there, and that's their
Yes.
like throwdown for the year,
yeah.
and then like,
the Google guys, they go out there.
Yeah,
Elon Musk. Has
crazy
been,
tech guys and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you go to Alex Gray's camp?
I don't know who Alex Gray is.
He does all the artwork for Tool, or like has for the last like 10 years, but it's all the like fractal imagery and stuff.
Well,
And
he
he's
has
got a
an
huge
installation
camp.
called oh shit. Damn it. Yeah. Anyway, he has a big installation that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Where? At Burning Man?
Well, he's done it in various places. He did in Ashland when I was going to school down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and
Well, I mean, maybe I stumbled on it and didn't realize what it was.
yeah, probably.
'Cause
I know
there's
he
so much
builds a
art.
big thing out there every year, and it's like I don't know. If you're into it, it's definitely a coveted camp to go and visit. So, yeah.
Some cool art.
Yeah. But of course, there's so much stuff out
There,
there.
yeah. So you go in, and when you go in, you get this book called the What, Where, When.
Yeah.
And it's like a little phone book sort of thing, and it's got like a bunch of theme camps that register and that say, okay, we're doing these things. Like,
Cool.
this is our event. Like, one is like you'd take pop cans and you'd smelt them down, and you'd make a little like medallion out of the thing.
Hell yeah.
You know, so you'd learn how to smelt. Another one was a shrunken head camp, and you would take these. A guy would bring in all these little like shrunken heads he made, and you'd put the hair on them and like weave the little like stitch the eyes shut and stuff, and like just random camps. And so in this What, Where, When is all these things, but and so it's like, oh, this camp, you know, the glory hole camp is like, you know, they're at 5 o'clock on Thursday they've got this event going, and so you'd be like, all right, let's go check this out, I want to see this. I mean, there's like what is it, like shit, I'm trying to think of, I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's
Glory hole camp.
oh yeah.
I mean, I knew there was the orgy dome.
The orgy dome. There's like the snack food glory hole. It's like you got to put, you know, you put your mouth up to it and they feed you snack foods.
Whoa.
It's like a trust fall, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
What's it
promise
gonna
that's a
be?
Snickers. You know? So,
Man.
but so you'd set out to go see something, like, oh, I want to see this thing, and inevitably you get distracted along the way. You don't make it. It's you end up somewhere, but you find something cool. It's like, hey, this camp is giving away snow cones or root beer floats or booze, you know, because it's not a bartering economy, it's a gift economy.
Right.
And so it's, you know, a gift, you don't ask for a gift. You know, you're not obligated to give somebody a gift. So if somebody gifts you something, that gift could be anything. And it doesn't have to be a tangible thing.
Right.
You know, you're not obligated to like, oh, well, here, this is for you. You know, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
So, I mean, like walking along, it was like, I remember one guy like called us over. He's like, hey, you guys want breakfast? And we're just walking along and made us bacon and eggs and gave us mimosas.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's just the spirit of that is like you'll see that even though it's big and it's crowded, it's still spread out quite a bit.
So like, what did you come up? Did you like come up with something of like, this is what I'm going to give away while I'm there? You know,
not really, because I didn't want to give, because decommodification is a big thing there, and so it's like I don't want to be giving people crap. You know, like here's a keychain or whatever.
Right.
So it was like, I'm going to volunteer for shit.
There you go.
You know? So that was my gift. You know, as I volunteered for the temple, there was an installation in 2014 called Embrace, which you can look it up online. And it's it's a couple, and you know, in this day and age, I don't want to say it's a man and a woman, but it's a couple with kind of like the bust, like kind of chest, shoulders, arms, heads, and they're embracing each other. But it's made out of like this real thin, almost like split, like when they peel logs, and it's that real thin wood, that veneer stuff almost. But it's strips of that over the skeleton framework, and you can go inside, and inside of each one was a heart.
Oh, cool.
One was a steampunk mechanical, like huge, like big, like a chandelier thing, and you'd hear the heartbeat, and this thing would like gears would like it would pulse open and shut. And the other one was like a stained glass heart, or it was like a metal framework with all these little hearts like punched out of the metal work with lights inside, and you'd hear the heartbeat, and the lights would dim and brighten. And you'd see the little it looked like little fractals out everywhere with the the stamps that were stamped out of it, and you could go up inside, up to like the second level, which was like the shoulders, and up to the third level, you're inside the head.
Whoa!
And then they burned that. So they like Thursday night of 2014, they burned it, and it's just because it's this thin wood, it just whoosh, it just goes,
right?
You know. Oh yeah, and at the tops of each head there was like an opening, so you could see out into the sky during the daytime, or at the stars at night.
Oh, that's cool.
In the daytime it's hot, so people are sleeping. It's fucking hot.
Oh yeah, I just find a cushion underneath a mister and try to pass out.
Yeah,
you know?
like misting domes. There's a thing.
So did you just do a tent? Did you have like a camp you were staying with, or you just rolled with the couple?
I had an '86 Toyota van, like the moon buggy van.
Yeah,
right,
cool.
with the lay down seats and turn into a bed.
Yeah,
and then I brought a couple of tents to like put my gear in, so I could get it out of my rig, just like dome tents.
Yeah,
and then I had like one of those little canopy, like $100 things you get on Amazon.
Canopy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I put
like an easy up or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just under that I could cook and do all that stuff. So like I didn't have like an air conditioned RV, you know, which a lot of people nowadays do.
I was gonna say, man, that feels like such a way to go.
Yeah, you got to be real religious about like playa quarantining though, because like, you can really fuck up an RV quick.
Oh yeah.
Like these dudes had like this system with like 2 buckets of water where you would like wash
little
your
foot
feet
baths
before you got in, like no shoes allowed under any circumstances.
Oh yeah, well, so it's so funny because so many people I've known have gone, but my old roommate, he went in 2000, I guess it would have been 8 or 9. Yeah, 9. Yes, please. And when he came back, it was so funny just because every single thing he owned just had like a coating of dust on it, you know?
Right.
Just every single thing. And he basically like walked in the house, walked in the garage, just like threw all his shit in there and was like, well, this stuff's all ruined. He's like, this shit has like eaten through all of my clothes.
Yeah.
It's pretty much destroyed the boots I bought. Like, he's like, it's fucked. Everything's fucked. I'm just like, I'm throwing this all away.
Sounds like he needed to decompress for a couple of weeks, and then like literally he just kind of got to set it aside, decompress, come back to it and go, okay, and roll up your sleeves. Like stuff that I took way back when still has playa dust on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's the thing. Yeah, he had like a
doesn't
heavy
go away.
coating of it on everything.
Yeah, it's just, it gets on every.
Yeah.
There's no getting away from
Like
it.
the little tiny divots on a cooler, you know, like you're never getting it out of there.
Right, yeah, totally, yeah. I couldn't believe it when he came back. I was like, damn, dude. Looks like you just crawled out of a fucking ditch, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, and when you see people
people
coming back, too, like, you drive on I-5, or you like if you're down on 395, like, coming, like, you know, Susanville, or just kind of in the periphery of Black Rock, and you're driving around, you'll see people coming back, and it'll be like a van with a trailer with like a bunch of crap piled on it, with like some bikes covered in fur and EL wires like thrown on top, and the whole thing's just covered in the dust, and it's like, oh yeah, burners, sweet. Let's see, I talked to God both times, actually. So yeah, and it wasn't. So yeah, so like when so you come over, like the first time I went, you come over the horizons where it's like nighttime, right? And it's like what was that movie at Devil's Tower with the aliens?
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters,
yeah.
right? So there's like, because the dust is everywhere, lasers, you know, you don't, it's not, you just see the whole laser like off into forever, right?
I thought that they were bouncing a laser off the sky, and I was like telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, what's going on? How are they reflecting a laser off the sky? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look how it bends. And he's like, that is the curvature of the Earth, sir. I'm like, oh my god! Because that's how well you can see lasers out there.
Yes. So you come over the horizon, and it's like there's like all this neon and lasers just going every which way. It's almost like a carnival, or like Vegas, like the Vegas like strip skyline at night. It's like, holy shit! But you're in the middle of nowhere.
Looks like the last scene in AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then you get closer, and then it's like, holy shit, and you get in there, and like right off the bat, my first trip there, it was like, let's see, we'd prepared some food ahead of time and like vacuum sealed it so we could just throw it in boiling. It's like I made some burger patties and then vacuum sealed them so we could just throw them in boiling water
Oh, yeah.
Heat them up.
There you go.
Pop them out. So I took a burger.
That's like a sous vide, right?
Sous vide.
Sous vide, that's it, yeah.
I've never used one of those, but...
Oh, they're great, man.
Are they?
I mean, it's basically just a thing that heats water, you know? Keeps it a certain temperature.
Took my burger, threw some mushrooms on it.
Yeah?
Cabenzis, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. Took a couple of points of Molly, ate my burger, and then just started walking around out there. And, you know, it was like,
yeah.
And go. You know?
We put all the fuel in.
Yes.
Yep. Right? Yeah.
Now we're ready. But, yeah, I remember it was, and it's just such a fucking overload because you got all these lights and shit and the sounds.
Yeah.
And you know, weird, like a fucking car that looks like a giant scorpion with like blue neon on it just comes rolling by all silently. It's like, oh, holy shit. Like, like huge, like not like fucking big with a big stinger up top and shit.
Right.
And my girlfriend's like, are you doing okay? Are you feeling all right? And I mean, I was feeling great. You know? I was like, yeah. And she's like, what do you think? I said, what did I say? I said, I think somebody put my brain in a blender and then poured it back in my head and it's dripping out of my ears.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that. But walking along and there's a fucking phone booth because Deep Playa is like you get out away from the city, kind of far to the far reaches. Right. And Deep Playa, the art's more spread out and scattered, and there's no lights out there at night. It's just darkness. Unless an installation, maybe they've got the little solar lights, so they've juiced up during the day, or they've got battery packs hooked up to it.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm walking along, and there's a fucking phone booth. Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Walking phone booth.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck, I have to see who's on the other end of the
Damn
line.
straight.
You know? It's like,
Of course, dude.
Because it's lit.
Exactly.
They put it out there for a reason.
Yes, but there's nothing. So it's like they had to run wires underground or hook batteries up to it or something. I picked the phone up, and it's a chick, and I said hello, and and she goes, I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something. I said who? She said hello, and I said who is this? She said this is God, something like that, right?
Yes.
So I'm tripping balls, and this is God. And I'm like, well, hey, God. And I was in this weird space in my head because, I'd just gone through a divorce. And, I'd been with my ex-wife for, like, about 12 years. We'd had a kid together. And so it took me a long time to kind of move past that.
Sure.
I look back now and I'm like, oh, what were you thinking? You fool. But we get along fine, and that's good. So I'm kind of in this weird space of, like, okay, I need to, like, talk to God. Like, I need to have a real, like, I just need to have a real conversation.
I'm here. Like, I'm here. I got God on the line. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So I'm playing the part. This is God. So, and I just said, hey, I said, hey, I just want to thank you for, like, getting me through, like, the past, like, year or so of my life. I've been having a really hard time. I've been depressed, and this has been really rough and really hard on me. And, so I just want to thank you for, watching out for me and taking care of me and whatnot. And
Aww.
And she said, oh yeah, no problem. She's like, I said, it's really good how you, like, kind of, you try to watch out for us, and I appreciate the free will, but it's like, I said, and then she goes, do you want to know a secret? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I don't really do anything. I just sit back and watch and laugh. I was like, oh, no shit. I was like, all right, well, that's cool,
That's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, so that was, the Talk to God phone booth. And it didn't say, like, phone booth. It said Talk to God. That's on the top of the phone booth. It said Talk to God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was, and it was just out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But, so then, like, they've got the Black Rock roller disco, whole other thing. Like, it's a fucking roller rink.
Wow.
Like, they set up floor out there, and I suck at roller skating, but I tried it anyway. But gosh, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. I saw Infected Mushroom out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Beats Antique.
Cool.
Yeah,
I always wondered if, like, known bands
yeah.
and stuff,
especially
like,
now, yes.
Yeah.
Tycho. Paul Oakenfold.
Yeah, that dude just showed up to anything.
Right? Yeah.
He was there when I was there.
Yeah. That dude was in. That dude played one of the the Area 51 raid events.
Seriously?
Yeah,
course he
totally.
did.
Oh shit.
Or a man just like him. Yeah, who's the big headliner when it was Ryuichi Sakamoto. Like, he had a fucking wall of like 40 fucking speakers with like a giant laser on top
jeez.
of it.
Yeah, that was the one thing my buddy, the same buddy who came back from in like 2008 or 9 said. He was like, man, like it was cool, but he's like, I just couldn't escape the dubstep. He was just like, everywhere I fucking went, dude, like morning to night, it was just like, whoop, whoop,
Right.
whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
And he's like, it started to like drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really a techno guy or like a dubstep guy or whatever to begin with. So, like, maybe that's a thing, too, but he was like, it just never fucking stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get around, like, 9 o'clock. That's, like, where the sound camps are. They kind of try to put them all in one sort of area.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, you've got these mutant vehicles that are also rolling
parties, yeah.
parties with, like, huge speakers. And so it's like... Yeah, it's like, you remember the old, like, Bugs Bunny cartoons where he was, like, trying to sleep and something would wake him up and he'd, like, have the red bloodshot eyes and the bags under him?
Yeah.
Like, you're, like, laying there and you'll just hear this boom, 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 boom. And then, like, oh, we're just going to stop in the street right here at 3 a.m. You know, and you're tired. Maybe... You don't stay up every night necessarily. I mean, eventually you crash. You just collapse at some point,
sure.
you know?
If you're not on drugs, you generally sleep at night.
Right.
know?
Yes.
And in the day. You know.
And
Yeah.
I mean, because you go for 24 hours and then you crash.
Yeah.
Then you go for 24 hours and then you crash.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, gosh, let me think. There's Trojan Horse, 2011. These are just like art installations.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this black Trojan horse that looked like, I mean, it was on the wheels, but it looked like it was out of Tron.
Whoa.
Cool.
So if you Google Burning Man Trojan Horse 2011, and it's got it's sort of like the stealth fighter sort of panels, you know, kind of
Right.
like geometric. It's not just a smooth horse, and it's at the intersection of each line. It's got this red EL wire.
I figured, yeah.
Or red LED.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
neon or whatever.
Yeah.
And so at night it would light up and it would look like it was in fucking Tron.
Big fucking Tron horse.
Exactly.
That's
Sick.
cool.
But at midnight they would open a back leg up, or they'd open both back legs. One was the entrance, one was the exit, and it had a ladder going up into the belly. And in the belly there was a bar. And at the bar they served absinthe.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So yeah, but if you weren't, like, you didn't know, like, I just happened as like, hey, it's midnight. Hey, they're opening the back. We got to go see what this is, you know, because they open the door and all of a sudden a line just because people are like, it's participatory, you know, they want you to interact with the art. That's why, like, I go to like a regular art gallery. It's like, what do you mean I can't touch it and pick it up? You know, it's like, well, that's lame. You know, it's like I want to be able to interact with the art.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, so you go up in there, and then they give you absinthe, and then which to me, I don't know, I would imagine it's a group, because it was built by a group that built this thing, and they did a fundraiser for it and everything. I would imagine they had to get some sort of decent absinthe, but I honestly have no idea, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I drank some, and then you go climb up another set of stairs, and you're in the head, and you can look out the eye slit and see the city and stuff.
My experience with absinthe is if you got horny as all hell, then it was good absinthe. Because I've had a few different runs at absinthe, but the couple good times, like... That's what happened.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell at Burning Man.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's like, well, you kind of have so many things coursing through your body.
Yeah, that's real true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... fuck, I had a question for you and I blanked it. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So, speaking of horny,
Yeah.
so I was a ride wrangler, to circle back to that, at the airport.
Are we getting the Orgy Dome story? No.
I didn't, so, well, I'll give you, and I didn't go to the Orgy Dome, but my wife would never have gone for that.
Yeah.
To go to the, single women can go, but
Right.
men have to be accompanied by a woman.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's no just, like, dude soup at the Orgy Dome.
Right.
Well, right, that's all it would be. It's just like
dudes waiting for some chick to come through the door.
Yeah, just like 50 dudes stroking it, and like one poor girl walks in and is like, oh, god
Never
damn
mind.
it. Like, I'm out of here.
Oh, wrong door.
But as a ride wrangler, the pilots, so there was a lot of pilots that would gift rides to people. Like, they would fly into Burning Man. I mean, they're paying for their own fuel. They're paying for the maintenance on their aircraft. You think you get dusty at Burning Man? Like, try turning a propeller on your aircraft, you know? Like, the planes get just covered. So, but it's really cool, because these people come in and they want to share the gift of flight with randos, you know? Yeah, and so, as the ride wrangler, my job was to sit in the shade and keep a list of people that wanted rides, and then the pilot would come up and say, hey, I got room for 2, or I got room for 1 or 4 or whatever. And so then I would kind of base it on, you know, who'd been waiting the longest, just to try to make it fair and equitable. I didn't do the whole, like, you know, girls batting their eyes. I went around. It's like, oh, I'll bump you to the top. It's like, no. Like, I thought, this has got to be fair. Like, you know, I want everybody to experience this. And I think I got everybody but, like, 2 people, which... Wow. And I just told them, I said, if you come back tomorrow first thing in the morning, you'll get a flight. And they said, okay. So I don't know whether they did or not. But, so... different pilots, and you've got to apply a name, usually. Mm-hmm. And so... I've been gifting arranging rides for people all day, and it was cool because it was people from all over the world. Like, and it was one was weird because it was a couple from Paris, and they gave me their names and information. And I said, okay, go hang out over there. And it's like basically you can hang out and drink beer in the shade and whatever, just relax and wait for a flight. You're not going to wait too long, maybe an hour. And then this other guy came up, and he was from Paris. And I said, oh, that couple right there is from Paris. And so he went up to talk to him, because it's like, gosh, we're both in Nevada and both from Paris. They lived in the same neighborhood, like a couple streets apart, and didn't even know each other.
That's fucking cool.
So I thought that was pretty rad.
That's cool.
But this one pilot, he was flying a Piper, like Cherokee, or something. It was a 6-passenger plane, I remember that. And his pilot name was Captain Crunch. So
sick,
right?
I mean, that's who I want to fly with.
Yeah. So I was like, I said... He'd done a few flights for me that day, and it was like I kind of got to talking to him, and I said, have you ever had anybody get in the Mile High Club, you know, on your plane?
Yeah. And
he said, no, I never have. He said, always wanted to, though. And I said, well, like, would you be cool maybe if my wife and I, like, went up in your plane and got in the Mile High Club? And he said, sure, yeah, when do you want to do it? And I said, well, like, my wife's back at camp, or she's out wandering around or whatever. I said, like, can we set this up for tomorrow? Because it's like trying to do it right now. It's like, well, I'm working, and it's like, that's just not going to happen right now. And I said, well, how about tomorrow? And he said, yeah, that's fine. He said, yeah, we can just take the back seats out, and we'll, like, throw a sleeping bag down or something. And I said, perfect, let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, because it's like...
Nice.
I think everybody should get in the Mile High Club, right? I mean, you got to at least make a good effort, right?
I mean, in that scenario, that sounds great, right?
Mm-hmm. I only missed the Mile High Club because I was too high on acid.
Oh, damn it!
Hey, man, like, no one, like, let this be a lesson to you, listeners. Never take acid before an intercontinental flight. Just
geez,
holy shit!
Wow, that's a story.
Where did you fly to?
From San Francisco to Maui.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And so that's like a good 6.5 hours over the open ocean.
Yeah, so we figured acid, we'll stay high for a long time. It'll be great, right? What are you going to do on a plane on LSD,
just
man?
Sweat and freak out.
Balls.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
You're going to try to look out the window as much as you fucking can. Is what you're going to do.
Oh, God. This plane's never going to land. I'm sure of it.
Right? Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just featureless ocean.
Just ocean. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm like, is that a whale? No.
Oh, shit.
And so, like, Jessica's like, you want to fucking, I'll just head back there. You can just, like, come knock on the door. And I'm like, thinking about everything that would be involved with, like, getting that to happen. And I'm just like, well, there's one thing that I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like the crux of the whole biscuit. So,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, boy, fucking on psychedelics is already kind of rugged move.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, but then like in a plane,
or
a commercial plane.
Yeah.
See, that's sweet. Like you could just got a pilot who's like, yeah,
Right.
fucking get back there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, I'm not like a super sneaky person,
Well,
so I
we're
don't know
post
about
9/11
the, like,
now too. So
right, totally.
I mean, pre 9/11.
This is pre.
Yeah, so it was kind of like. I mean, you could almost.
We could have pulled it off if we hadn't been on
Right.
acid. Like
for sure.
I'm convinced of this. They served me a mimosa, and I was not 21. So.
Yeah.
I feel like you could pre 9/11. You could probably, even after not being allowed to smoke cigarettes, you could almost smoke a cigarette and they'd like chastise you for
Right.
it. But now, like, they're gonna land the plane and arrest you.
Right. Yeah.
Like, well, and furthermore, this was a charter flight. Like, this was
Oh.
the rad thing. Is back then you could like buy a plane ticket like a couple of months or 3 months early or something. Like, as long as it was far enough ahead of time, you could buy a plane ticket to Hawaii from San Francisco for $100. And it was because there was just this charter flight company that, like, you know, they didn't always need all their planes for whatever, so they would sell tickets way in advance, and if they filled up a plane, they'd be like, okay, that plane is now chartered for
got it.
this flight, you know?
Huh.
And it was always one way, you know, you had to figure out the same trip back, but I mean, they were always doing the return trip as well, so you just
you'd
had to
get
buy
back.
another ticket, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I would have had no problems.
Are those
It was
days
just-
gone? Can you not find flights like that anymore?
I just don't know if they still do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes you can get deadhead flights, you know, like where a charter jet or whatever like flew out somewhere, but it was the paying customer flew one way.
Right.
Right.
But it's not going to be like months in advance. It's going to be like last minute thing.
Yeah,
But
right.
then
Yeah.
you're like gambling because it's like, well, if you need to go somewhere,
Yeah.
then you're you could be
Yeah.
fucked.
Totally.
But anyway,
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so Mile High Club.
Yeah. So is that rad?
Well, so
yeah, so how did this go with, like,
Right.
talking to your wife? and
So I
stuff?
went and I told her because like she had been just the fucking whiniest,
Oh no.
most like judgmental, like
No.
just pain in my ass. And it's like if she needed something, I'd go out and find it. Like I found her like multivitamins and like
Oh, was she just not
coconut
digging
water.
the like Burning
Not
Man
at all.
vibe?
Yeah, like
Well, I was going to say
devil
multivitamins.
worshippers
Like, what
and
the
just
fuck?
like yeah.
Yeah. Come on. That's
wow.
why I
Yeah.
go to Burning Man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we
Come on.
could start there.
And it was just like it's just so miserable and just like no matter what it was like look like she just wanted to sit in camp and be miserable and it was like look like you're not gonna have fun unless you get out and meet people and do things.
No kidding.
And
Right. I mean,
It's all about what you put into it at Burning
Yes.
Man, you know?
yes,
yeah,
and she was just fucking miserable
because
But I
the
went
place
out-
is hostile, right? So like sitting around ain't gonna be any fun at all.
No,
No.
especially in your camp where it's just like, oh, we got a shade structure and some shit to cook with. Like,
right
Yeah.
fuck, no, that is just for maintaining your corporeal needs.
yes
Yeah.
exactly
All of the entertainment surrounds you. you know?
yes. But
Yeah.
some people don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like if you take an RV with the air conditioning and shit, you're kind of robbing yourself a little bit.
I like that. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Because that's going to be the most comfortable place. You don't want your camp to be the most comfortable place at Burning Man, because that's where you're going to default to.
right, and a fucking
Yeah.
more often than not, I was sleeping in a different place too. It
Yeah.
was just like.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it was just when I was like not gonna fucking trip balls that night, and I was like, well, fuck it. I mean, I do have a sleeping bag and a tent, you
Right.
know, like,
yeah,
and I would go pass out for like 6 hours in the tent and like, you know, recharge the batteries.
yeah. Guess I'll return to home base.
But, but I mean,
yeah.
dude, there's so many more comfortable places to lay down at Burning
Yeah,
Man. I mean,
yeah.
like,
And-
there's places that specialize in that shit.
And people,
Right.
hammock camp. There's a
Oh,
camp
yeah.
that's a huge ass dome filled with hammocks, and it's like you just go chill and lay in there. And I remember my wife and I, we went there and hung out for a while, and it was like people just came around and gave us cheese and grapes,
Oh,
like to our hammock. Like here you
Beautiful.
go, yeah. And it's like that's their contribution to the burn, you know, which
I
is
want to lay in a hammock and
Oh, yeah.
eat cheese and grapes.
right.
I remembered my question, and we'll get
Yes.
back to the old
Okay.
Mile High Club here in
Sure.
a second. My question is just like, so you did mention that like people do fundraisers and stuff, but yeah, how do people just afford to like build a giant thing, stock a bar full of fucking absinthe, and just like go out there for the week and be like, yeah, we're just handing out absinthe for free for 7 nights a week, rolling around in this thing that we're just gonna burn at the end of all of it. Like,
a lot of it's tech
that
bros.
is crazy money, dude.
A
Like,
lot of it's tech bros who have like artist friends.
yeah.
So there's I'd say a good portion of it is like big money.
Yeah.
Then
yeah,
there's
tech money. Sure.
Then there's like you'll see Kickstarters, you'll see GoFundMes.
Sure.
You know, like internet fundraisers. Before like Kickstarter and GoFundMe were.
But that stuff's only been
big.
around for like 10 years.
Right. So like, you know, Facebook people would put up, you know, Facebook posts. There's people that's just their life. You know, they save their money to do that.
Yeah.
So and it's like, you know, you get like a group together of like 100, 120 people. And that's what their thing is, and so they save up over the course of a year.
I also didn't consider like the big group that, like,
Right.
yeah, if you organize a group of 40 people, 50 people, and
Yep.
you can all chip $1,000, then
Exactly.
you get this shit done.
Yep. And so like theme camps, they have what's called a directed group sale, and so early on they'll say, okay, your camp that's been given placement, which placement means you are assigned a certain camp spot. It's reserved for you.
Yeah.
So like when you pull in there to camp, you can't they cordon off certain areas because they're trying to make a fucking atmosphere a certain way. And it's
Yeah.
like some people poo-poo that, like, oh, fuck that, it should be whoever comes in first. It's like, nah, like play along. Like they're trying to make it like this whole section is like fucking like the French Quarter, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
so that camp is going to come in there and set this whole fucking area up, and it's going to be like you're walking through the French
And it's
Quarter
gonna be
hearing
cool.
jazz music.
It's gonna be worth it.
Exactly. So don't be
Yeah.
a dick and
Yeah.
park your fucking U-Haul right in the middle of it.
Yeah, like,
Right.
let's just do, like, 97% free-for-all, and, like, we'll reserve 3% for a little bit of organization here.
Well, it's a lot more organized now than it used
Sure,
to be.
sure, yeah.
But there's still, it's like you can find a fucking place to camp. But so there'll be a lot of these groups, and they get the directed group sale tickets, meaning like each person in the group can buy like 4 tickets.
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is, you know, those people buy the tickets, and it's like the idea is it's a big no-no to scalp your tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not allowed. People do it. Like, you'll see them online, like eBay or on the StubHub or whatever. But if the organization finds out and they get the serial number of your tickets, they'll delete your tickets.
Whoa.
Like, they're no good.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Because they want them sold at face value. Like, if you can sell your ticket, but it's got to be at face value.
Sure.
So they have no issue with that.
Great.
That's fair.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
how it should work.
If you're in a theme camp and you get a directed group sale ticket, you're supposed to sell it back to your group first. Like, so in 2017, I was going to go again, but I ended up getting a new job, and they needed me to go right out and start working, and I had my ticket in hand, my early entry pass as part of this theme camp, but I wasn't going to be able to go.
Yeah.
So if I was to just go sell it online, that's a faux pas. Like, you need to try to sell it back to the group first. If nobody in the group wants it, then okay, go sell it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I sold it back to the group. That's just kind of the etiquette for
Makes sense.
Burning Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a group that year that you were going to
Yeah.
go with?
Yeah, it was, I'm trying to think of the name of the group. It was Clue Bar,
Oh, cool.
which, I mean, I haven't gone since, but basically they did a murder mystery theme camp.
I was literally
I
going to
kinda
just
figured
ask,
it
like,
out.
yeah, that
That's
has to
rad.
be what that is, and
Yeah.
that sounds
So good.
fucking awesome.
I would totally do that.
Shit, yeah.
And so it's like they wanted you, like, so you go to and you can apply to join different camps, but it's like, well, what are your skills? Like, what's your skill set? What do you bring to the group? You
Yeah,
know? And it's like,
yeah.
are you a welder? You know, are you a plumber? Are you a cook? You know, like,
Right.
what is your skill? And then they just trying to find people that fit the holes
Just
that
round
they
it
need.
out, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally.
Are you rich? You got money? Like, you know.
I was
Yeah.
really good at taking drugs, you know. That's why I got in.
Not conducive to organization, but yeah.
Hey, but sometimes you need you need the jester. I don't know.
Oh, I'm the shaman.
Yeah. But it's there's a lot of you asked about, like, the how do they pay for all this stuff, and you know.
No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, people have their
Student
different
loan money,
methods.
like-
And, yeah. No, I'm sure people do some foolish stuff too to, like, figure it out. But
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, I even knew people who were like getting packed into like steamer trunks and U-Hauls
right
underneath a pile of gear so that they could get in for free. And like,
yes,
then they started searching U-Hauls, and it got a little more rugged.
Yeah,
but.
so they'll search, like, they don't like tear your car apart. Like, if it's not, like, if you have a U-Haul like packed to the gills, they're gonna open the back. They might dig in a little bit. They're not gonna empty your fucking U-Haul because they got people to get through there.
Exactly.
And once you're in. You're in. Like, there's no, like, oh, let me see your ticket.
Yeah.
There's none of that. So you're just in.
Yep.
Right.
But, yeah, and people sneak in. But if you get caught, your whole group, gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not just you, everybody, gone.
Yeah,
Like,
I knew a raver
that's the
crew
risk.
back in, like, 2002 or 3, something like that. Like, they had all kind of pooled their resources to, like, rent a fleet of U-Hauls, and they were going to set up a fucking sound camp. And, like, some of the higher ups were planning on sneaking certain people in, and like other people who were like fully paid members of the group were finding this out at the last minute and like canceled their plans because they were like, I'm not getting fucking turned around at the gate just because you want to sneak some fucking teenage friend of yours in. Like, either you pay for them or I'm out, you know? And it's like, I appreciate that stand, you know, like.
Well, yeah,
fuck
totally.
That noise,
yeah,
you
you
know?
don't want to pay $300 for a ticket just to get fucking booted because, like, someone in your crew, like.
Well, it's not only that, but it's like all the money you pay for all your stuff, your supplies, your gas, taking the time off work.
Oh, right.
And then, not to mention, driving your fucking happy ass out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Like, middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Like, fuck, man. Like, what do you do when you get turned around at the gate in fucking Gerlach, Nevada?
And how embarrassing, too.
Oh,
that would suck.
Yeah,
you
I mean...
like, haul your happy ass home with all this fucking gear, like...
No, and it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we're heading to Desert Days, tomorrow. And that's 3 days without all the, like, extra stuff you need, because it's just a chill campground with facilities.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, yeah, we still paid $1,000 for tickets and passes and gear and all the stuff that's going to go into it. So, yeah.
I mean, fucking that's a starter kit for Burning Man, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, right?
You really get a lot for your money, though. I mean, people talk about, how much the ticket costs. And it's like, well, like, how much is, like, a big show at the Gorge?
Yeah, right, like $100.
And how long does that last?
Well, I mean, if you're going to camp
a couple hours,
we're talking more
like, maybe a weekend.
If it's like a whole weekend and you're camping, like...
A few $100
we're talking,
maybe?
Yeah, like at least 5, you know, like maybe closer to 7.
And so, I want to say, if you do it on the super cheap, you can probably do Burning Man for $1,500. Like, and I'm talking like camping in your car kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But experiencing it.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's a week.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like...
Well, and if you think about like going on a vacation and paying for a week's lodging, like, yeah, $1,500 is not cheap, but I mean, like, think about where you fucking are.
Right,
you know?
exactly. You're going to have experiences you'd never have anywhere else.
Yeah.
At all. Like Mile High Club.
Yeah, I was going to say, take us back up in the air here.
Right. Okay, so I went and talked to my wife, and I'm like, hey, look, like, I kind of gave her, like, look, I have been waiting on you hand and foot all week. This is, like, a huge opportunity.
Right.
And this is all I'm asking for is, like, we need to go get in the Mile High Club. And she kind of poo-pooed it and was, like, in a kind of a bad mood. She's like, all right, okay. I was like, fuck yes. And so, it was like, yeah. So we rode our bikes out to the airport. And I told the guy, hey, I'll come out and meet you out here at the airport. And so we got back out to the airport. And she thought, like, I was screwing around with some chick at the airport, which it was like... I've never...
Whoa.
She was very paranoid, and it's like, I have never been unfaithful. And it was like, no. Like, I said, I asked you to come out here and hang out with me at the airport while I was volunteering. Like, I'm not screwing around. This is like, there's other people out here volunteering at the same time. I'm not the only one at the airport.
Yeah.
But, so she was like, kind of had that in her head, and I'm like, no. And my wife at the time was very good looking, so it was like, and maybe that's not the thing for everybody. You know, maybe people cheat, I guess, with people that are less good looking than their significant other for whatever reason.
People cheat for myriad reasons.
Yes.
Cheaters don't cheat.
That's true. But I was just like, no, that's fucking nuts. So we got out to the airport, and it's funny because, like, so you land in a plane, you got to have your tickets, right? If you're going to get off of the aircraft, you have to have your tickets, and they have customs.
I love it.
Yeah, like, because you're coming into Black Rock City.
Have anything to declare, sir?
Right, and there was like this drunk old dude, and I don't remember what his name was, but he was the customs officer, right? And it was like, do you have any drugs on you? And it was like, no. And well, why not?
That's the kind of customs officer you want, right? He's like, oh, maybe I got something in here.
Here you go.
Next question should be, what do you need? Like,
Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, no drugs, eh?
Yeah.
Well.
So
right up.
I'm like, okay, well, I got to find this pilot, right? Because the pilots are out flying and coming in. And so I went over and I said, hey, have you seen Captain Crunch? And, my pilot, and I'm looking for him. Oh, I think he was over wherever. And so I went looking, and I found the guy. And it was like, okay, so let's pull the seats out of the plane. We went out to the plane, and we had to get special bracelets to go through customs because we were going out to the runway. We didn't have our tickets on us. Like, once you pass through customs, like, you either have to have a bracelet going out so you can get back in.
This is a part of my story.
Is it?
The bracelets, yeah.
Yeah.
Or coming in, you got to have a ticket.
Because I never paid for Burning Man, but...
Really?
Yeah.
Like, snuck in?
No.
You just had somebody take care of you, or...?
You'll find out.
All right. Anyway, went out to the airplane. We pulled the 4 back seats out. I brought a sleeping bag, laid the sleeping bag out, went back, got my wife, and I said, all right, let's do this. And he's like, yeah, he's like, well, how high do you want to go? I said, 5,280 feet.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, right? Yeah, like, no lower than that.
1 mile.
This isn't the 4,000-foot club or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got a minimum.
Yeah,
my minimum must exceed.
Yeah, so it was like, okay. And he said, all right, well, just, he's like, I'll fly up there. And he said, just tap me on the shoulder when you're done. And I'm like... rad, So it's like normally you take off in a plane, you got headsets on, you're in a seat with seat belts and stuff, but we were taking off sitting in the back on a sleeping bag. We had headsets so we could communicate with him. And he took us up over the city, and it's like, this is fucking rad because we're flying over Burning Man, which is like cool from the air. It's neat to see. And I'm getting to fuck in the sky over Burning Man.
Yeah.
So,
do you leave the headsets on?
No. All wrapped up in the wires and shit.
Give the pilot a little taste.
Right. Looking back. Ooh.
A little heavy breathing.
Yeah, so we flew over the city and we banged it out and
awesome.
Tapped him on the shoulder, and
he's like, that was fast.
Yeah, I'm not to a mile yet. Hold on.
Oh, God damn it.
All right, hope you got enough fuel. We're gonna be here a while. I gotta take a nap real quick. God damn it. Fuck. Yeah, so we're in the 1,000-foot club.
Yeah, right.
So we flew around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and tapped him on the shoulder, and then we're like, oh, man. And it was just like, you know how they say spitters are quitters, right? So we're coming in for a landing, and my wife gets airsick coming in for, and I'm just like, no, like I do not want you throwing up right now. Fortunately, she did not throw up, but she got all like green, and it was just because we had like a crosswind coming in, and so you had to land a little faster, and so that was close. But we landed, get off the plane. She goes and walks back, and I helped him put the seats back in, got the sleeping bag out of there, and I'm walking back in, and I set the stuff down, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, hey, thanks, I had fun, appreciate it, even though she's my wife. It's like, come on, like, this was fun, right? And she kind of was like, just because she was in her pissy mood, whatever. It's like, God damn it. Like, you were a lot nicer before we got married. And I look over her shoulder, and I was like, that's fucking Diddy. Like,
as in P. Diddy?
P. Diddy fucking standing right behind her. Like, and I got a picture of it somewhere, like, standing right behind her.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I said, do you know who that is? And she's like, who? And because she was from Fernley, and she grew up like Mormon, right? And I'm talking like Mormon, like brainwashed Mormon.
Oh, jeez.
Right. So it was kind of weird for her being
Magic
Burning
underwear
Man.
Mormon.
Yeah, exactly. And she had no idea who P. Diddy was.
Okay.
And it's like, I've seen some celebrities like. I saw George Clooney in Vegas. George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones were filming a movie in the room right next to mine. It's at Caesar's Palace.
That's cool.
George Clooney looked just like the movie's George Clooney.
Hell yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, Like, you remember that movie with her and, James Bond.
Sean Connery. Where she's dipping underneath the lasers.
Yes.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes, thank you. She did not.
Keeps beneath the lasers.
She did not look like that. She just was like, okay, she's all right. Anyway, Diddy looked like, holy shit, I'm in a music video right now. Yeah. That's Diddy. Like, that's the dude. And I said to her, that's fucking P. Diddy right there. Like, Biggie Smalls, P. Diddy. She had no idea who I was talking about. She's like, oh, I said, he's fucking a huge rapper. Like, this is like a big...
This dude's like a mogul.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, like, making the band. Remember that? Yeah, dude. I prefer the Dave Chappelle parody of making the band.
Yeah. I only drink Korean breast milk.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Or Cambodian, sorry.
Cambodian breast milk.
It's gotta be Cambodian
and he's getting carried around by his buddy.
Just hops up in his arms. Such good
And she's like, oh, I thought that might be somebody important. He pulled a big roll of money out of his pocket and gave some to because he had these handlers, he had some girls with him, and he had a couple of like big dudes with backpacks on with him. And then he goes, so I'm hanging, I'm like, holy shit, like, how do I talk to this guy without like being the fucking loser? Can I see him? You know what I mean? Like, Mr. Diddy, excuse me.
That's how I always...
White male here with question. You know?
Diddy, may I call you P?
That's how I feel talking to
Mr.
anyone.
Diddy.
Like, even not super famous people, but just bands I like, and when I get the chance to like meet them, I'm like, oh, hey,
fanboy, like,
will you sign my magic card?
Yeah. Will you sign my move?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so he's standing there for a minute. I took like, oh hey honey, I'm gonna take your picture like a few times, but not get the fuck out of my way. I want a picture of Diddy. And he goes over and he gets in this white like Tahoe. And his girlfriend, who actually, I know that, like, I see Apple News and stuff, and I really don't give a two shits, but I happened to notice that him and his longtime girlfriend, Cassie, I think was her name, broke up, and then she got with some other dude recently and had a kid, or got pregnant and got married, like, super fast. Like, that's not going to work. But that was his girlfriend at the time, because they'd been dating for, like, 10 years. It was after him and... J-Lo, because remember he was Diddy and J-Lo were a couple. It was after that, then he met this nobody chick that he was with for a long time. So I told my wife, like, I'm going to go meet Diddy. Because he's sitting in this Tahoe. There's no driver. He's sitting in the passenger seat, and his girlfriend's in the back seat. And the windows,
Weird.
What?
And the windows are down, and I'm like, when am I going to see fucking P. Diddy again? Like, I said to my wife, I'm going to go meet him really quick. I'll be right back. So I walked over, and it's like, it's about the only place you could just, like...
Also, you just, like, fucked in a plane, so you're just like, I'm on fire right now,
dude. Shit!
Like...
No, I'm sorry. I met him before I was getting on the plane.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, that's right. No, I'm sorry. Before, because I walked up to him, and I was like, hey, how's it going? Good. I said, hey, nice to meet you. And I said, are you his girlfriend? She said, yeah. And I said, cool. I said, welcome. Glad to see you guys here. I'm going to go get in the Mile High Club with my wife on this plane. Like, why the fuck does he care? And he says, no shit? And I said, yeah. He said, I just peeped that. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but all right, cool. And that was it. It's like, I'm not going to ask this guy for his autograph, because that's, like, you're at fucking Burning Man. He's just trying to show up and have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it's rude to, hey, can I have your autograph? Like... What?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
I mean, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're all just fucking people,
Yeah, but he's Diddy.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, at the Burn, like, that's
exactly.
Kind of the vibe, there's tons of celebrities there, but you don't fucking freak out about it.
Right. So, but it was just like, well, I just had to meet him, so I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
That's a class move,
right?
Hey, what's up? I'm gonna go
fuck my wife in the airplane.
And he's like, high five, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. That was, and I told my wife, I was like, oh yeah, so I just told him what we were going to go do. She's like, seriously? I was like, yeah, because, I mean, it's like, he's probably done it, but, he owns the plane,
Right. Yeah, right.
It's like, it's easy when you own the plane. But apparently, like, I guess earlier, like, Susan Sarandon had come in, Leonardo DiCaprio had come in.
Nice, Nardo.
Nardo?
Yeah. Leonardo.
Oh,
Nardo.
Yeah, not that hip, I guess, but...
No one is.
No, it is.
No, nice, new one. Nardo, is that like some anime thing? I don't know.
No,
Okay.
just a nickname.
Yeah, so...
Just a nickname for my boy.
Gosh,
dude.
I'm trying to think that... I mean, so that was my celebrity Burning Man sighting
That's
and
cool.
Mile High Club.
It's fucking epic.
Yeah, but I would highly recommend you go. Like, make
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah,
to go.
I probably, I mean, I got to at some point.
Yeah, I didn't do any drugs the second time I went. I actually I got drunk, like slightly drunk one time, but I didn't do any drugs the second time.
Yeah.
And it's not like people think, oh, everybody's naked. It's like, yeah, there's a contingent of naked people, but it's not
Right.
like the majority is not naked for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's people who are sober all week and are just working, because that's what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's 70,000 people, so like,
It's a
yeah,
city.
there's gonna be
all sorts.
gonna be whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just
Totally.
do what you want to do and try to have fun,
Yeah.
And for me, that was trying to gobble all of the drugs that anyone would put in front of me. So
Yeah. Also,
And-
like,
and there's nothing
naked
wrong with
people's
that.
not a deterrent.
Oh, no.
Well, when it's like 400 naked dudes on bicycles,
I mean, it's
To
fine.
each their
the
own.
naked
I mean,
naked
like,
bicycle.
I don't feel like
Pub
men
crawl, I
ever
think.
look sexy on bicycles.
No.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, put something over the seat, please.
I mean,
Right.
yeah.
We-
Like, I'm gonna ride that thing later.
Don't you dare, dude. We were. What the fuck were we doing that we drove up fucking Cesar Chavez and went around the Gleason fucking roundabout?
Oh my god, that was so funny.
It was the day of the naked bike ride, but for some reason we were both like, no, that's not this weekend. It's just a fucking lemon party in the fucking roundabout.
yeah,
God.
yeah. We just go around this roundabout, and there's just like
Old
5
dick.
dudes, just like 5 old naked dudes, like
Yep.
standing around. We're just like, hey, look at that, Portland.
I just saw 5 dicks just now.
Yeah, and then we're like, this can't be the naked bike ride weekend.
Yeah.
And even if it is, they're not meeting at this roundabout.
Yeah.
So, because it was like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Turns out it was
It
the
was
naked bike ride
definitely
weekend,
that
but
weekend.
There was
I don't
only
know.
5 guys in
It was
it.
just
Right.
the lemon party contingent in the roundabout.
I always find it funny when I'm out driving around on the naked bike ride night, and occasionally you're just driving around, and then all of a sudden you just see like some lone naked dude just
Yeah.
walking his bike that got a flat or whatever, and it's like
Wearing his Crocs.
Yeah, just like bummer, dude. Yeah, and he's just fucking like, because like if you're in a whole fucking line of naked people, it's
Right.
not weird. If you're
Right.
just one naked dude walking your bike at fucking
Yeah.
11 at night, like
That's extremely
damn.
weird.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, man.
I did not plan for this event.
Yeah.
I should have had A, a spare tire, and B, spare shorts.